This is Andrew Vontz, and you're listening to Choose the Hard Way, the podcast about how hard things build stronger people who have more fun. This is the 2025 Abandon Your Family 500 Daily Update. Joining us in the background, which you cannot see because this is audio only, is my Lauf Segla. And I wanted to let you know that this episode, as always, is brought to you by my primary partner, blockchain.com. This is a very, very special episode of the Daily Update. I, as always, on the Daily Update, have Jonathan Kaplan from Riding With joining me, as well as Spencer Martin from Beyond the Peloton. We do Peacock Team, the triumvirate behind the Abandon Your Family 500. And brace yourself, we have a very special guest today, Kip from Kip's Corner. And I think that that's really the perfect place to start today. Kip coming in hot with 105 miles on day one of Abandon Your Family 500. My kids were very impressed with this ride and wondered why Dad was no longer at the top of the leaderboard. Can you walk us through the planning that went into this moment? Did you block this day on your calendar at the conclusion of the 2024 Abandon Your Family 500?
Well, Andrew, it's great to be with you guys today. I appreciate it. And when I think about yesterday, there was some excitement. There were some things that lined up very well. All hands calls, meetings where you don't have to say a lot. So I was able to just work and ride. And before you know it, I'm like, well, look at this. I could be able to do a century today. And you know these events. When these events happen, everybody's excited. But if you can come in with something from left hand there and throw in a century, it's a good way to start it out. It's a real good way to start it out.
We know that you had a little more planning up your sleeve, Kip, than you're letting on, I think. Walk us through the nutrition and hydration strategy. When you were planning this 11 months ago, how did you think about having the carb slurry, the fluid? How was everything ready? Did you have a 10-gallon bucket of carb slurry next to you when you started the ride yesterday?
The carb slurry was lacking. I realized that when I was riding with Constance and Farm Watts. What's that guy's name?
Right.
He was riding with Constance, and all of a sudden he comes out of the limelight. He's like, I could do this all day. This is no problem for me. He's like, Zwift and carbs? Yes, please. And I was like, I think I only put like 60 carbs in both of my water bottles, but I was able to, take a coffee break in Zwiftland and go refill the carbs, grab some Rice Krispie treats that my daughter and wife had made last night, and it worked out pretty well. So,
yeah, I'm not really buying Kip's story. Spencer has just landed at an undisclosed location. All I'll say is that the four horsemen of the apocalypse might be located there, and the Illuminati might be in the basement. And this is a location in the middle of the country because I feel like with what I just described in 2025, people could be thinking about a lot of locations. Spencer, are you able to come off mute and enter the chat here with some questions for Kip?
I didn't get the link. That's my first question. Who let this guy in here? What's going on? I log on. Kip's on an episode. I don't buy the story at all, by the way. We're all getting bodied by this rugged TIA. Oh, my God. You cannot pull wheels over this thing. But I don't buy the story at all. This was an impromptu century on the trainer on a Monday?
What's so hard to believe? What's so hard to believe?
Just a trainer, a century trainer. Andrew and I prepared emotionally and mentally for months for the Tour of Tucson. Kip's doing Tour Tucson equivalents in middle of meetings.
With the yoga pad, remember? With the yoga.
Suspicious.
Yeah.
Little suspicious. I'm tired, folks. I talked to you guys 24 hours ago, and I was in transit, and I'm still in transit. It's a real low point. I got a little 3K run in at O'Hare, though, Jonathan. Airport still looks great. Loving it. Made the
with
flight,
the lights?
Yeah.
Yeah. O'Hare is looking a lot better.
O'Hare, sneaky, actually kind of convenient if you can look past all the inconvenient things. But Andrew, where are you in leaderboard? What's the status right now?
You can't even see me when you log in. My kids just no respect for me anymore. I have to say, after the recording with Sam last night, I went down, I showed the kids the leaderboard. I was briefly at the top of the leaderboard. And I know that there's some tension in certain families. We don't have to get into it. Sometimes the Abandon Your Family 500 brings families together. In other instances, it tears them apart. We know that the Masters endurance athlete divorce ratio over the age of 50 is roughly 80%. And we hope not to see any of that fallout here in the 2025 Abandon Your Family 500. Here in the Vontz household, the kids are thrilled. They're loving it. They're like, Dad, get back. You're not at the top of the leaderboard. Get back on the bike. I'm missing dinner right now. I'm in my kid. I took a brief respite. I'm going to be going back down. I have a program minimum in mind, a target in my head. I will not share with you all that I plan to hit today. And I don't know. Who knows what I have up my sleeve? It might be a royal flush. I might do a kip and go from a fully private ride to an everyone setting sometime around 11:58 p.m. just to kind of dominate that leaderboard. Kip, what time did you change your setting yesterday?
Yeah, I was got to be sneaky with this, you know. We had a holiday party at the brewery across the street. And when we were wandering back, I was like, I think now is the time to take this out of private mode.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I want to point out that right now, Spencer is making the long walk. No, it's the very long walk. No, it's the extremely long walk to the oversized luggage area at a certain airport that does have a stallion out front with blaze red eyes. And it takes blaze red eyes and I think a fierce constitution to step into the arena of the Abandon Your Family 500 day 2. A thought that I wanted to share with you all, and then I'd love to go around the horn here, get a few observations, and we'll log off so everyone can do what they need to do, which is get back on the trainer. It's currently 6:05 p.m. Eastern time on Tuesday, December 16th. I'm imagining that similar to the recordings they engraved into a gold record and sent into outer space at some point during the 70s, these recordings of the daily updates of the Abandon Your Family 500 will be preserved for future civilizations once we're all off-planeted or have become food for some group of interstellar visitors. What I've noticed on Zwift is there are no truly flat routes. And in fact, the flat route, I believe, has 350 feet of elevation.
Yeah.
And I'm just looking for something where I can kind of cruise along, have a pace partner that's putting me in that
I know what it
24
is.
to 28 mile per hour zone.
Okay, I know what it is.
Okay, what is it?
It's the volcano. The volcano.
No, the volcano's got that sharp climb.
It
where
does.
it's all-
It does, but you can use. Yeah, you got to use it to your advantage.
Tempest Fungi or whatever the Latin one is. That's pretty
Well,
flat.
It gives me
The deal
that
is
makes me
they only put the fast pace partners on the flat routes during the Rafa Festive 500. They haven't really stepped to the plate yet for the Abandon Your Family 500.
A shot at us.
Yeah,
keep
targeted
us
individuals.
Do you guys know what that Latin word means, by the way? I just figured this out like a year ago. I'm an idiot.
Go ahead, Spencer. Avail us.
Time flies.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, it
Yes.
kind of makes sense when you think about it. I got to say, shout out to Sycon bags. I have a $15,000 bike in here. It could be shattered. Just being able to push it along. Wow, Kip, you know the struggle of putting that Uru case on your back. Cassette digging into the middle of the back.
You're coming home. You're coming home with that Colnago, which is maybe the only person in the country now with that bike, if I'm understanding you correctly.
Yeah, I do think I am potentially the only person with the Colnago. It is a loan. It's not mine.
They'll forget about it. They'll forget about it. That's how it always.
That's how it's the classic team bike, right? I've never returned a team bike. You just kind of hold on to that thing. And
Yeah, you
forget
hang on to it. After a year, they'll forget about it.
Spencer, I feel like what you're actually trying to do right now, this is a subtle flex, not that you have Pagacha's Colnago in a bag next to you. you in fact have 2 bike bags with you, correct?
No. I just have the one. Because
Okay,
what
you're
happened,
not.
I flew over with an empty bike bag with the
Wow.
understanding I would test this.
Jonathan, I have to ask, did you get a swim in today?
No, that was the one. I do want to do more of it. It felt pretty good, but I think it was a bit much, and I paid for it today because I felt terrible.
All right. I think that this is one of the primary questions that we've been discussing privately and not involving you in, Jonathan. We have a strong suspicion that 2026 is the Ironman comeback year for Jonathan Kaplan. And all we ask as your close friends is that you be honest with us about what's going on so that we can support you during what must be an extremely difficult time that's drawn you back into this sport.
I can give you the most definitive answer that will never happen again. Never.
Oh, dear.
Never.
Sounds like there's a chance.
I will not do it. I cannot do it. I refuse to do it. I don't know how to categorically like I'm running for president. How do you rule that out like 16 different ways?
And Jonathan, how much time and distance did you log on the bike today?
I can't even say. I think 34 miles.
You're saying that like it's nothing. I don't want to tell you how much I've ridden or not ridden today. That seems like a lot to me.
I need to get this done in 8 days. So the average needs to be 37 miles a day. So I think between the average, I might be there. But I just don't want to panic on like next Monday and have to like put in like 65 miles.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you're still in the sweet spot. We want to keep this short. We've had a pretty good update today. I don't feel like it's complete yet. I wanted to just get any observations you all have from your time on the trainer, and perhaps I'll lead off. I was back to back working with clients for One Real Voice today, helping the world's top leaders become highly effective communicators in dynamic and high stress, open-ended communication situations. And what that meant was that I did not have enough time to eat. And I got in a hearty breakfast. I'd say I got down probably 130, 140 grams of carb. Might reveal in a future episode how I did that. I find trying to eat gigantic bowls of rice or oatmeal to be pretty onerous, and it takes an extremely long time. I have a speed method for getting those carbs in. Throughout the rest of the day, though, not sufficient carbs. I get on the bike at 2:30 p.m. I'm 6 minutes in, and I start to bonk really hard, knowing that I'm at the beginning of this journey. And that's not a great feeling. I haven't fully recovered. I've been on and off the bike 2 times today, and that does something uniquely horrible to your body, I find. It's really hard to be appropriately carb, no matter how much you eat. Kip, I see you nodding your head. I feel like you've been in this scenario before.
Well, you guys know me. I like to have a breakfast of eggs, some type of nice breakfast meat, get some carbs in there. But yeah, if I don't have a full stomach, it's going to be a tough ride. So you gotta fill up, folks, however that is. It's not all about the carb slurry for some of us. You got to get in a hearty breakfast, though, if you want to have a century during the workday.
Hearty country breakfast, just like the Giants commercial that UFC fighter Matt Hughes did in 2003. Jonathan, what observations do you have for us today?
Episode 5, Season 2 of Landman. Excellent.
Let's not,
Excellent.
No spoilers, please, Jonathan.
I'm not going to spoil it.
Yeah, please.
I did start listening to the Rewatchables podcast where they re-reviewed High Fidelity. Spencer, you're probably too young for that movie, but I mean, a Gen Xer, what a great movie. Great movie, great book.
And seen the movie. Not too young for High Fidelity.
All right. Okay.
But I'm just curious, like, Andrew, have you seen it, read it? Like,
Yes.
if you could go back to the 90s, would you go back to the 90s? I mean, like, I had this huge wave of nostalgia.
I feel like whatever moment I'm in is the best time to be alive, Jonathan.
Just quick on that, Jonathan. So yeah, intoxicating thought. Let's say your soccer practice is over. Mom's late. You know what you're doing? You're staring at like a stop sign, like maybe upwards of 30 minutes. There's no distractions. I don't know if I can go back to that. Like, let's just.
I
try to
think
hit
that's
the
exactly
stop.
what we need to go back to.
Or in my case, the subway doesn't work and you're stuck on the subway with the hard copy of the newspaper folded like 6 different ways. So, you're not taking up the whole.
Brag, you can read. I couldn't read in the 90s. I came along later.
Strong.
Boy, did you.
All right, Kip, what have you got? What's your observation day 2, and what kind of mileage can we look forward to at around 11:59 p.m.
All right.
tonight?
Well, here's the deal. I just made my ride public in real time.
Yeah.
On the
Okay.
Hardway
Spoilers
Pod.
for Landman or the ride distance.
Okay.
I'm kidding.
Wow.
You can say your ride distance.
Wow.
This is exciting. I'm looking forward to looking at this.
You take a look. But I'm going to say this. This is exciting this year. Abandon Your Family 500 is exploding. And all I'm looking forward to is seeing all these ladies and gents that came to play. And I see Andy he's coming to play. So we got some hot dogs here. And Andrew, I'm not going to take anything other than a century from you tonight. So there's your inspiration. There's your inspiration.
I'm absolutely buried on the leaderboard right now. Kip just came in over the top. Andy Leach, you were looking strong, bud. You were looking real strong before we got on this recording. I just want to give you some credit. Before Kip came out of stealth mode, you were at the top of the leaderboard, Andy Leach, and I saw that you put in a 70 miler today outside. Outstanding. That is the level of commitment we like to see. It's one thing to pretend you're attending meetings while on Zwift. It's another thing altogether.
That's a huge commitment.
Yeah, take a complete day outside. Andy Leach.
Yeah.
You are a champion. 69.96 miles. I like the symmetry, Andromic distance, 1,297 feet of elevation gain, 3 hours and 44 minutes of moving time.
It says that Andy's from Denver, but that was like the classic northern Colorado loop he just did today, and it's like 70 degrees here. I would have joined him, but I'm stuck on the trainer. I'm stuck using my yoga block, staying upright, healing this shoulder. So,
yeah, right. We do have to know, Kip, what have you ridden, like 200 miles with one arm?
Yeah, I mean, I've been riding on one arm since the end of October. So I'm a little scared what it's going to be like when I get back in the drops. Like, is my lower back and core not going to be used to it? I don't know.
Yeah, you're going to be totally asymmetrical. It's like when Shaq had taco neck. I don't know if you remember that back in the day. Spencer, you, of course, have been traveling and transporting. What can we expect from you today, and what observations do you have on day 2?
Observations are, would love to be riding. That's my number one observation. It's a uniquely anxiety-filled moment, sitting still while everyone else is sprinting ahead. But I guess I'll have to cram this thing in 8 days. But I have, other than that, no observations. I have no thoughts. My mind is mush. Days are caving into each other. I don't know. I got confused about where I was this morning. What city or country I was in. That's where I'm at. Complete low point life. Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, I want to note, Spencer, gravel legend, aerodynamic optimizer Chase Work is climbing the leaderboard. Kip,
whoa,
you better watch out. Kip just went right to the leaderboard. Yeah, Chase is currently.
What's Andy Leach at?
Andy Leach is in second place. Chase is sitting in 7th place. And then Wesley Bicker in 6th, Seth Hanlon in 5th, Mark Duroy, sorry if I'm not pronouncing that correctly, in 4th, William Joaquin in 3rd, and Andy there in 2nd. Dustin Davis, of course, sitting in 9th, Matt Tucker in 8th, Rhino in 10th, and Mid-Coast legend Morgan Laidlaw in 11th, Jose Garcia in 12th, our own Jonathan Kaplan in 13th. Everyone climbing the leaderboard. I just want to say we are going to have a few more special guests joining us here in the near future. Chase potentially might pop on. I don't know if we're going to get public policy legend Andrew Savage, who definitely is sitting on, I would say, a pile of private activities that may go over to everyone here in the next couple of days. Currently at 23.8 kilometers. That's suspect. I'm not buying that. We'll see what happens. But this leaderboard is getting hot. So is this challenge. My kids are counting on me to hit my daily distance minimum, and I know that they're enjoying some steak tips that I marinated for them downstairs right now. I am in a kit that was soaking with sweat when I sat down to do this podcast and is now dry. So I'm probably going to have a massive saddle sore tonight. But I want to thank you all for making the time. And Jonathan, it looks like you have something to say. So go ahead.
In number 5, Seth Hanlon, local DC hitter.
Wow. Yeah, way to go, Seth.
Give him a shout out. And
Yeah.
Matt Tucker too.
Where is Matt McKenna? Is he not doing this challenge?
Dude, that guy's riding in the snow.
Signed,
nothing stops him.
Well, he signed up for it. He's on the leaderboard. He's in 46. So what's happened is, due to the high atmosphere inversion that's made it extra cold here in the Northeast this winter, in Montana, as you may all have seen, I believe it was 59 degrees yesterday, and Matt was out on a nice single track ride on some dry trails there in beautiful Los Angeles. Mauricio Uribe sitting right behind Matt in 47th, and local legend Greg Simpson, Cat 1 hitter, former fixed gear racing legend, best known for his fixed gear crash that resulted in double broken wrists. That is, we all know that's really
shit.
You know, you're a serious racer when you get the double broken wrist crash.
Yeah.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't envy that.
Yeah. Greg is in 48th, and he is ready to step up the leaderboard and start influencing from his conversion van. Well, we want to thank you all for being here. We're going to be back with another daily update soon. We'll see what the level of commitment is in the group. I can tell you the competition is spirited. The families are weeping in sorrow, wondering where their partners are, and there are good times ahead. So stay tuned. Thanks for listening. Please like and subscribe this podcast everywhere you listen, and you can check out all of our respective newsletters. You can find the links in the show notes. Follow me at Hardway Pod on Instagram, where there is just some phenomenal content from my chicken coop as well as my garage going down right now. Until next time, we wish you the best on the Abandon Your Family 500 Challenge.